As I completely suck at drawing backgrounds, I had traced/drawn over an environment I prepared in Sims. I mean, I will need this location, and having a reference can't hurt for sure. After drawing over that for hours on end, I realized that it wasn't really that necessary. We live and learn. I should have just checked it for the reference. I first sketched my two boys roughly where they'll be in the scene, and then I do the actual sketching with a different color. It is usually pretty close to what I want as an outline, but I rather experiment on this level than on the clean outline. I mean, I don't like it when my cats come to distract me, especially when I try to draw feet. I sometimes think that those are even worse than hands to draw. Their outfits are not the usual ones, cause in the story it is shortly after Char, the pointy-eared dude, recovered from an injury, and they have a little heart-to-heart just outside of the dense tavern. I mean, I barely got the storyboards for the first 3 or 4 chapters of the actual story done, but I draw here a scene way down the story. To be fair, the writing of the main story and its sequels are long done. Never mind. I put down some clean lines for my boys and fix anything that might need fixing along the way. My biggest mistake here is that I should have mirrored the whole sketch before doing the outlines. I did do that later on, and thank God there wasn't anything major. I fill them with a solid color that I won't be needing when coloring, and on to making a mask layer. I then just fill in the colors I want and skipped ahead to the lighting. I try to get a smooth lighting, kinda like I do with colored pencils or alike, but I forgot how different digital behaves in that manner. I try around, but it seemed so weird to me that I decided against it later on, and used the lasso tool and gradients to get some shading in. Why do I even try to do the two things I totally suck at, a background and a night scene? Well, if I avoid it, I'll probably never learn, I suppose. The next tedious task is filling the color of the background. I say tedious, but I enjoy doing any kind of filling in. It might be a bit boring for you to see me do it, so that's why I cut it here. Here you see me doing the shading with the lasso and gradient. I'm not entirely happy how it turned out, but it is much better to the previous version, for sure. Now a big general gradient for the background to give this a nighty feel and play around with the shades that I could add in there. I did work a bit on this, especially in the background department, but I forgot to turn on the recording, so sorry about that. I didn't like the focus of the scene being in the right side, so I cut it down to this. Plus I can hide Bond's terrible foot there. A win-win situation. The tree line got a work over, and then I did my favorite work, doing itty bitty stuff. So I made some pebbles and gave the grass some grass texture. I know it's not super visible, but it looks better than just a green flat surface. As a final touch, I add a layer of purple, set it down to multiply and lower the opacity until I get the right vibe I want here. But the tree line background part was still too light, so I needed to work that over again. I could beat myself over it. Either I have too many layers or too few. I'm really horrible at organizing those. I relighted some of the highlights, but left the characters be. If I hadn't shaded them before, it might have looked better, but I have tried something and I'm semi-happy about it. A shocker for myself as well. So yeah, that's it. I'm on DeviantArt as well, link in the description because I most likely won't record every piece I draw. And well, the story of Isar's vengeance will come here on this channel as well. Just don't ask me when. I don't know either. Bye!